what is going on, guys? This is Jason with Jadren Aquatics. Thanks for hanging out with me in the fish room today. You notice there that I paused because it's been so long since I've done that I actually forgot what I normally say. So a lot of stuff going on in life right now. I don't want to bore you guys with it. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but a lot of changes coming. Most of them have to do with me working on tearing down most, if not all, my fish room. But we'll talk about that some other time. But today we are headed out to my friend Ron's house. Ron has 7 tanks, 6, I don't know. He's got a bunch of tanks in his house. I want to show you guys. These are something I kind of want to start doing more of now. Going out, not just a fish room, but actually go to people's houses that have multiple tanks. So you guys can see some of the beauty that's out there. Also, Ron breeds all my Electric Blue Acaras for me that I currently sell online. So you guys will be able to see that, see the setup that he's doing that. If you guys are interested in those are always on the website for sale. So without further ado, let's go.
Hi, my name's Ron Frederick and welcome to my home. I've had aquariums and fish since I was 7 years old, pretty much non-stop. I'd like to first show you my aquarium here. It's of course in my formal dining room. This is about a 75-gallon. The interesting thing about that is we bought all of our furniture from North Carolina for this room and in our bedroom, and it's this Queen Anne kind. And so what I decided to do was see if I could get an aquarium to match it. I convinced the people up in North Carolina to actually sell me 3 doors. You'll see these doors right here. Those are the 3 doors, and they match exactly to the 3 doors over here. So what I did is I went to the Dallas North Aquarium 29 years ago. 29 years ago, I brought them the 3 doors. I said, build me an aquarium around it. This aquarium has been running 29 straight years, has never not had fish in it. Not even one day has gone by it didn't have fish.
So tell me, how pleasing is it to your wife for these things to match?
Well, she loves it. She loves it, yeah. I think that it's always worked out, and it would be really hard to duplicate. It is in 2 pieces, but you know, the silicone I worry about. I think that the wood on the side is helping keep it together, but you know how old that is? Who knows? I've never ever had a leak. But I am concerned, okay, because there will come a day, and then redoing it, I hope I can find somebody who can do it. Okay.
All right, so we're sitting here in front of his show tank. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. It's so nice to actually be in someone's house and to see the way that this tank is set up, because I'm so used to going into fish rooms where it's all like breeding setups and it's always boring. Plants are just thrown in kind of haphazardly. Rocks are just kind of there to serve a purpose for fish to breed. So it's a nice change of pace to come in here and see something that's so peaceful and so relaxing.
Well, we went to the expo recently, and this angelfish was purchased there, and I'm really, really pleased with that. And it just so happens that today, one of the Electric Blue Acaras laid eggs, and it's the smaller one hiding back there. We'll get a close-up of it in a minute, but I do want to point out the difference between a male and a female. On Electric Blue Acara, the males are always larger. As you can see, this one, the top dorsal fin there, it extends almost all the way to the tail and is pointed. The females are smaller, and the tails dorsal don't go all the way to the end, and they're more rounded.
But how old are they before you can actually distinguish that? Because people ask me that all the time.
Yeah, it really, they have to be at least a year old, or maybe this size, which is about 2 inches out. But I'm no expert in that. So okay. The best way to tell is whenever they're paired off and they start doing the dance and getting together. And, you know, so as you can see, the male is guarding those eggs right now, and the female sitting on top of them. So she's laid them on slate. Actually, the story goes, when I was a teenager, I found a broken pool table in the field, and so this is all pool slate from a pool table from my teenage years.
Oh, wow.
And then what I'll do, actually a week ago we had some lay on this particular plant on the leaves, so they will lay their eggs either on the rocks or actually on a leaf. So last week after 24 hours I came in of them being laid, I came in with the scissors, stuck my arm in there, I got bit, and then removed the leaf and took it to the other room to incubate the eggs.
Do the male and females, are they a singular pair? They always stay together and always breed? Or go to other females?
Mostly it's the same male as long as I've had them, but that male was probably 7, 8 years old and it died recently, and now I've got others who are breeding. So it's a little hard for me to answer that. I have a feeling that's a different female than what laid them 1 week ago. Because actually it's got to be, because I've found that the closest they've had the same female would have laying eggs was about 20 days was the quickest turnaround.
Okay. People to me have a misconception of Electric Blue Acaras. They think it's more of an aggressive cichlid. What is your thought on it being a community fish?
They are the most community cichlid you can find. That's what I like about them. As you can see, I put tetras in here and they were smaller when they first went in. You got a small rainbow there. They don't hurt anybody. They're really, really peaceful fish. Now that doesn't mean that if you put some small live bears in, they're not going to chow down on them, because they absolutely will.
If it fits in their mouth, they're going to eat it.
Yes.
That doesn't make them aggressive.
Yeah.
That makes them normal.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I'll show you really quick the below the tank and the filter I've got.
Okay.
Alrighty, let's check out the filter I've got down here. It's pretty small for the tank and all. This is a Eheim filter, and I like the connections on it. They're real clean and simple to use, and they don't leak much. All my aquariums I like to add air, so I've got a air stone going in this. The reason I like that is to get the surface of the water broken up and gets more oxygen, and then also it keeps the protein from building up on the top layer.
But you don't have any kind of plant in here that is even remotely requirement of CO2. You have easy growing, low light plants.
That is correct.
I see some type of probably crypts here that are, then you got some Amazon swords back there, then some anacris up at the top, and then is that some of jungle val?
Yes.
That we got growing back there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got to say, you know, these plants don't look all that great, but hey, I'm working on it.
You know, everyone that's watching the video right now is going, wait a minute, Jason just gave the name of plants. Well, the thing about it is I sell so many plants now that I've been force-fed the names to know what they are now. And it cracks me up that I can look at a tank and I can name almost every plant in the tank, because it used to be I could never do that. I just didn't know them. But now when you sell them, you have to learn them to be able to pull the right plant.
I think we want to talk that this is a Tideline cube, and it's 11 gallons.
Okay.
And this is the Fluval Flex bow front 15 gallon.
Okay.
This one only has a sponge filter. This one only has the built-in back sponge filter.
Okay.
But it's got the flow, you know, that goes through. And the reason there's no filter in here, it's much easier to breed the shrimp.
Yeah.
Much easier. Okay. All right. So you're going to have to search around on the bottom to find these reds, because they blend in. Okay. And then the other thing is there's actually a dozen green tetras in here, and we're going to try to feed them.
All right, we can see over here in this tank he's got a bunch of blue.
So I've got
Blue Dreams, great looking Neo Caridina shrimp in here. We got some guppy grass. That I think here we go. Maybe pennywort or moneywort, maybe what that plant is, if I remember right.
I believe it's moneywort.
Okay, well, look there. Name it another one.
And I've always got a problem with hair algae, and I hate hair algae.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Yeah, but guess what? There is no duckweed. I hate duckweed.
That's pretty impressive to have no duckweed.
Yeah, much better.
So they are easily spooked.
Yes.
So what exactly is this tank?
This is your old-fashioned, good old 20-gallon high. And of course, I've just mostly got male guppies in here because that's just what I like. I always run 2 lights on all my tanks, and I got to tell you what I've discovered is I'm a little old school, of course, and I like these fluorescent lights on the front. They're the Zv-1 plant lights. The reason I like them so much is because red things come out redder. If you have any kind of a fish that's supposed to be red, normally they look orange, and this will help them appear red like they're supposed to, including snails. You can kind of see that, and especially with any kind of the red shrimp, it just brightens them up so nice. This tank has got 2 different filters in it, they're both sponge filters. That's it. That's all I've got in here, 2 sponge filters. And I use 2 because it's just safer when I squeeze one out and clean it, then I just leave the other one in there and it's going. So that's the reason for that. This tank, the shrimp, this is of course my Skittles tank. I've got a blue dream right there and a fire red there, and then there's some Amano shrimp in here, and there's some more shrimp, and I mean there's tiny babies all throughout this guppy grass and hornwort. They're loving it. So
Gives them plenty of hiding places to keep them from being eaten.
yeah, you know, I'm new to shrimp keeping, like 6 months a year, and it's so much fun. I mean, I had no idea I'd like them so much. It really adds character to the aquarium.
It does.
And so they're so easy. As you can see, you know, you would think that those tiny little babies would be eaten up 100% by all these guppies in here, but that is not the case.
No.
All right, so this is another tank that I've got. It's approximately 24 gallons. It was given to me, actually. It's very old-timey. It's got the triple face front. I really like it. This, of course, are my baby Electric Blue Acaras that I'm raising up to sell. I've already sold about half of them. The one batch of eggs, I got 70 successful babies that I've reared, and these are the leftovers from that. And right now I just fed them one of their favorite foods, which is Tetra Pro Tropical Crisps. But I also like to feed them frozen brine shrimp. They love frozen bloodworms. They get that too, but I don't love messing with frozen bloodworms.
So are you saying these are all from the same egg hatch?
Yes, they are.
And about how old are they?
These are probably 6 months old, something like that.
Okay.
I overcrowded them. There were 70 babies in this one tank, and this is where they've been. And so, you know, you have a bigger tank and better husbandry, water quality, food, you're going to grow much, much faster than me. But for me, this is not about, you know, trying to make any money. It's just fun for me to be able to support a little bit of my hobby by doing this. It makes me feel good. And so also I love sharing these guys because they're such cool fish.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, I just want to show you how simplified I've got everything under this aquarium. This is the Fluval 107. It's pretty small, but it does a great job. Once again, I use an air stone. And I put, because I've got it so overcrowded, I do add a sponge filter in there. But I do want to point out this, when you've got so many wires, one of the tricks of the trade is, first of all, for safety's sake, you don't want them on the floor in case you have a water leak. So I've got them elevated. I've got my timer here. All of my heaters, I put a red stripe with tape. You see that red stripe? Because as you're plugging and unplugging, because that comes into play, as time went by, I got so many plugs, so I started labeling everything. As you can see, this one here just said flat out filter. I've got blue for air, so it's really helped out a lot.
Oh no, it's more fun digging through your wires and having no idea where they go. All right, so we can see out we've got his hatchery here. This is typically where he'll You bring his eggs in here to get them hatched out. The ones that we have that are on the outside here are about 10 days old. And what he typically does is allows these guys to feed off their egg sac for about 7 days or so. And then he'll start feeding them some of those. Sometimes he thinks they're a little bit too small to be able to eat baby brine shrimp. So he'll use some of the macro type foods, like the First Bites. So then once they get up a little bit older, he'll start feeding them the baby brine shrimp, and that's when you'll start seeing a lot of the growth. And then inside the container there, he's got ones that are, how old are those again?
A little over a month.
But only about a month old that are in there, so they're not ready to come out yet. So we can begin to feed these with the other guys. All right, there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed your time at Ron's house. Pretty cool setup. Again, excited about doing more of these when I actually have time. You guys got any questions or comments, be sure to leave them down below. So thanks again, guys, and God bless.